The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
On go.
Welcome back to another Podwans Podcast. I'm your host, Luke, with our merry band of misfits. Chase is back.
Welcome to another episode of the Podwans Podcast.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Chase.
I'm playing Star Citizen right now. What are you doing, Luke?
You know,
Oh, so we can play video games while we podcast. I'm putting Destiny back.
Yeah, who said you couldn't?
I mean, okay, look, if Chase is playing Star Citizen, Ryan is up here playing Destiny. I'm watching Thursday Night Football at the same time. I guess we're just watching different shit while we're talking.
Multitasking. What are you
Multitask.
talking
Also,
about?
what up, Kenny?
it's called Get Good, bitch.
Oh.
Whoa,
Today we
whoa!
are
This is how we respect our former host.
Whoa! Everybody, chill out.
Oh, I told Char I'd do this live on main. Fuck the Bears.
Fuck the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh yeah. By the way, Ryan, you were sorely missed. Did you watch any of it yesterday?
No, I completely forgot about it. I was busy doing stuff. I was prepping for an office party. That was.
You would have loved
stressful. I was
yesterday.
doing stuff.
You would have loved yesterday.
Well, I'll
Brad's
have to go
our
back and watch it.
Brad's our fifth.
We're having 5 hosts.
Brad's
So
our
guys
fifth.
now.
We're
Oh, we got a new one.
Yes,
Okay.
Brad's awesome.
Okay. I'll have to
Chase
go
can
back and-
attest. Brad is pretty awesome.
Oh, Brad's great. Mr. Dazzler?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Dazzler.
Okay.
Anyway, Star Wars.
I'm all for more chaos.
Oh yeah, Chase. Your thoughts on the Star Wars announcements from the Game Awards since you weren't here?
Man, Galactic Racer looks so good! Oh my god! Galactic Racer looks so insanely good.
Yes, it does. I agree. It's like Burnout style, which is fun for me because I like.
I think it looks more like Wipeout, like F-Zero. I think it's going to be like an AR game style. That's not a bad thing. Like, those games are great. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But I know that's not what everyone cares about. They don't like good
I
video
care more about it
games.
because we know it's coming out next
Well,
year.
you'll kill.
Yeah, I think if they were to send like a new Star Wars game and then led with Galactic Racer, that may have
That's fair.
Yeah.
may have
Especially
not have
all
been
the,
as
the rumors and all that. Yeah.
yeah, like you know how people are. Did you see the Meat Canyon video that came out like a day or two ago?
Today. I watched it. It
Yeah.
actually wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
No,
Like, this is all
he's-
stuff that I've heard about.
Yeah, he's talking
What
about
meat
like
cannon?
Meat Canyon. He does like he's like one of the biggest animation YouTube channels out there right now. But what he also does is like talk about just like things in the like pop
Just pop
culture and stuff like
culture,
that. And he basically said like Star Wars fans are the worst, and like not in the way that we typically talk about Star Wars fans being the worst, but this was more like these parents named their kid Anakin Skywalker, and he's been incessantly bullied because of it.
Sorry,
If
sorry, my
like,
audio
look
dropped for like a
up
good like
the
30
news
seconds.
cycle or something like that. I was like, well, this is a lot better than I thought it was, because
Yes,
and he was actually pretty cool about it most of the time, which was like, okay, this isn't.
yeah, he can be a little bit. All right, dude, chill. But he was pretty
Chill.
he was pretty charitable throughout it. But that does lead into Star Wars fans are indeed the worst and can't handle anything. People are already upset about Fate of the Republic, which is, I guess, what
They're mad about
we're
Fotor.
probably going to talk about for the most part, and then you guys will talk about the Mandalorian because I haven't watched it. Also, happy 10th
I
anniversary to the Force Awakens.
I haven't watched it either because I was out
Yes.
shopping today.
Um,
Christmas, baby.
Hereth,
So-
you're muted, bitch. What the hell are you talking about?
He's probably busy watching football.
So, Luke, I know you have not played Knights of the Old Republic 1 or 2 or the Old Republic. Hereth, I know that you played the intro to Knights of the Old Republic. We did that on stream, and
You didn't save.
you didn't save.
weird.
Because I'm not familiar, have you played KOTOR 1 or 2 or the SWTOR MMO?
I've played a good bit of the first KOTOR. I owned KOTOR 2 on the PC when it first came out, but my PC was awful at the time, so I never actually got to play it outside of like the introduction.
I also
I
can
played
confirm from
I
experience.
say a decent bit, maybe like a few hours worth of the Old Republic MMO. I've been
Hereth, we can't hear you.
I would say
So-
I can confirm from experience the PC port for both KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 are absolute garbage.
I think the KOTOR 2 one's better now that it has like official Steam support.
Yeah, if you play TCL
Yeah.
KOTOR 2, it's actually pretty decent. The best way to play it, unfortunately, is with an original Xbox.
Yeah.
Or you can be like me and get a modded 360 and just play that way.
The best way to play it is on an original Xbox.
I still have my physical copy of Knights of the Old
Well,
Republic.
guess
one.
what? I can play it because my 360 is modded and I can play any Xbox game on the 360.
Pretty sure KOTOR 1's also backwards compatible, so you don't need a modded Xbox 360 to play KOTOR 1.
But Ryan, okay, so let me ask you this: when is this timeline for you playing KOTOR? When was the last time you probably touched a KOTOR game?
Been like past 2 or 3 years maybe.
Okay, do you think these games hold up, or do you think they fall behind in modern times?
I'm gonna say gameplay wise, and I don't like the turn-based, technically D&D, random number generator or dice in the background. I never liked that from the beginning, but I enjoyed it because it was Star Wars and it was a new kind of game that I hadn't played at the time.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's probably like the most common thing I hear outside of like turn-based bad.
Which is weird because in the world of an era of like which I find it weird that people are like turn-based bad in the era of like Baldur's Gate. Like, I know it's different because KOTOR there's like an automatic roll happening behind like the code, like a random D20 roll. But still, we're in the era of turn-based games being better than they ever been. So I find it weird that like again, I have issues with KOTOR as a modern gamer, but I find it weird that like that is the talking point.
Here's where I think it's really weird, and we'll jump into Fate of the Empire, or Fate of the Old Republic.
It'll take some time to get used to the title.
KOTOR.
Yeah.
I just call it KOTOR.
KOTOR's the worst fucking name. Holy shit! How did they not?
That's
think
gonna
of
be the
that?
norm.
That's gonna be the norm. Get used to it. Get used to it. Get used to it. Get used to it.
Quincy, please, why did you do this to yourself, KOTOR?
Get used to it. That's what people are calling it.
I'll say this: in the age of Larian having such success with Baldur's Gate 3, with Clair Obscur sweeping the Game Awards, and then having games like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth and stuff like that, which aren't necessarily turn-based games but have some of that like DNA, I think it's strange that more people have not gone back to KOTOR and had a good experience. Because it does have that DNA. Like that's where, like, I think people maybe don't realize KOTOR is made by the Baldur's Gate people, like the original Baldur's Gate people. And I think it's interesting when people say, "Oh yeah, I couldn't get used to it," and then it's like, "Oh, but I played like 10 trillion hours of Baldur's Gate 2," and I'm like, "And you couldn't play KOTOR?"
I still think
like-
with KOTOR and the remake, I still think they should go more towards an action-based RPG mechanics, kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake and that kind of stuff. Or like for KOTOR specifically, like Mass Effect.
I think KOTOR will. If I had to make a bet on it, I think you're probably pretty close to being right. I think it's going to be that Final Fantasy VII Remake style game. I think the trouble with something like KOTOR and SWTOR is you put a lightsaber in someone's hands and they don't have a button to click to swing it, they get mad.
I think that was
100%.
Well, I only-
8-year-old me's problem when I'm like literally right there up against the enemy and I'm hitting the button and I get the words miss.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't blame anybody for this, but like, I know anytime anyone talks about lightsaber mechanics in a modern Star Wars game, they're always just going to compare it to Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. And don't get me wrong, I love those two games, but they are not the golden standard for what lightsaber combat should be in a Star Wars game.
I think they're the best.
They are the best.
that-
I'm just saying, like, I don't think like every Star Wars game has to follow that style of gameplay to a T.
I don't think that. I don't think that if I had to guess, like I said, I think you're gonna get the Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy 16 style of combat. Maybe Final Fantasy 15, which is a little that I don't know if you ever played Final Fantasy 15. That's a
I've
weird
not.
game. That is the beautiful.
I've seen my brother-in-law play, but I've never played it. Like you driving around a fucking car constantly.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it is a good game. But I have to say, I think it's been too long for me to get excited for Old Republic stuff. Yeah, Luke.
I know you heard that. I know.
I don't get it. Did I miss something?
Just keep talking, Chase. Just keep talking, Chase.
Anyways,
Mute your mic next time, Luke. Jeez. Oh, that.
Is that me?
No, that's Hereth. That's his mom.
Hi, Hereth's
That's his
mom.
mom.
I miss Hereth.
They're like 4 or 5 minutes behind gameplay.
That is fucking
there we
awesome.
go.
I love that. I love that.
Okay, so Photor.
Let me turn down my gain. My gain's down. There you go.
I'm excited. I don't want to say I'm not excited. I'm excited for this game. And I'm not excited for the reason I think that, like, Ryan, I think you brought up of like it's going to take too long. Casey Hudson, who again was the director of the first 2 KOTOR games, as well as Mass Effect. They're not bringing back Drew Karpyshyn, which I think is hilarious.
But who do
he hasn't been announced as being back.
But like with like KOTOR, who do you like attribute to KOTOR's
Drew
success?
Karpyshyn.
You think Drew Karpyshyn? Because like I know a lot of people were like, "Fuck yeah, they brought back the original director," and like everyone was like more happy.
Drew Karpyshyn.
You think Drew Karpyshyn was more of the Star Wars guy?
Drew Karpyshyn is like he was the face of the Old Republic. That's not to discredit Casey Hudson. Like,
right.
Casey Hudson has a myriad of successes in his career, and he will do well with this. I'm not super I'm more excited for Galactic Racer than Fate of the Old Republic because number one, it's been such an eternity since like I was actually even engaged with the Old Republic,
right?
Like the MMO. We're probably talking pre-COVID. Last time I like seriously was playing SWTOR. And on top of that, the Dude Bros ruined KOTOR for me. Like, I know that's like a stupid thing to say. And
but
like,
it's not stupid.
Genuinely,
because...
they ruined it for me.
Well,
like,
no.
I feel the same way about. We've talked about it before. I feel the same way about Revenge of the Sith. Like the Dude Bros ruined Revenge of the Sith for me.
I would say
and the Dude Bros ruined KOTOR. For
I would say it's very different. Because at least with Revenge of the Sith, at least they're consuming the content. I feel like a lot of KOTOR fans. I am not calling a lot of. Okay. I'm not calling out the KOTOR fans that are diehard.
Very careful.
Okay,
with this.
I mean,
there's a name for them. KOTORists.
They're KOTORists.
Oh, that's a good one. I never heard that.
Because okay, Luke, don't say be careful, because there are a lot of people that will watch the MMO trailers for SWTOR but have never played the game in their life.
Yeah.
And they will say like, Revan's my favorite Star Wars character, but they've never fucking played any of the games before in their life. Don't say I'm wrong because you know I'm right.
You're not wrong.
And I think
I've had multiple conversations with people in the past about the Old Republic and what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. KOTOR will always hold a special place in my heart. It will always probably be one of, if not my favorite Star Wars game. Specifically KOTOR 2. I loved KOTOR 1, but KOTOR 2 really struck a chord with me. The Exile, I thought, was, as a character and the things they were going through, was a more interesting character than Revan was. That being said, it's not even the tourists. Well, I mean, it is the tourists, but it's the people who make Revan their entire personality, talk about Nihilus, eating planets and stuff like that. And then you ask them who Visaz is. They're like, I don't know who Visaz is. And I'm like, the thing that makes Nihilus interesting is Visaz Mar. Like, she is the reason he's interesting. And I think people have missed the point of Kreia completely. Like she is like, this is not a good comparison, like character wise, but like you're not supposed to like Anakin. You're not supposed to like Patrick Bateman. You are not supposed to like Kreia. Like, she is a bad individual. And people are like, she understands the Force better than anyone. It's like, no, that's not the point of her character. And I think a lot of that really just soiled me on being excited for anything Old Republic. Like, I was excited when KOTOR Remake got, the teaser trailer. I was like, oh, but it was more like I'm excited because I'm curious how they'll do it.
Well, like
Fate of the Old Republic, we don't have a set timeline.
I know Ryan was discussing. I know you said on the StarWars.com there was a like kind of hinted at timeline.
Yeah, into the Old Republic era. So depending,
so it's
on
like
how
the acolyte
canon
to the Old
could be
Republic
like
era.
1,000 years before the movies. It could be thousands of years before KOTOR.
The latest
or
it could be
after
is like what
KOTOR 2.
1032 is the latest it can go because
Something
obviously
like
it's
that.
because 32 BBY is
The end
Phantom
of
Menace.
the end of the Old Republic is literally like the Battle of Rusan up until Phase 2 of the High Republic. Like, that's the timeline of the end of the Old Republic. That's like 1,500 years.
Yeah, that is very vague, and it's just
Well, because like
So
I'm curious.
So is Bane a part of this? I don't think he is, and I don't think he should be. Is Valkorion going to be part of this? Will the Eternal Empire be a part of this? Like, these are all. I'm not I was talking to Lord Dagavir about this when he was doing a stream. I'm not against them talking about Exar Kun. I'm not against them talking about Darth Revan or Darth Bane. Make it a new story, please. For God's sakes, make it a new story. Like, we don't need the retelling of Darth Malgus. We really don't.
But here's the thing. I think this was the best outcome because I know we've talked about it before at length about how would you do the Old Republic in canon, and I've said for the longest time is you tell new stories. You get away from like obviously you could reference them and talk about them, but like you don't want to just keep treading old ground. I think the remake is interesting for people that have like or can't play the game because they think it's outdated, but like this was the best possible outcome because they could actually pick and choose what they want from the two games and make it work within canon. Because it's going to be canon. I think they would have explicitly said in the StarWars.com article, if it was Legends, I think they would have said it outright. I don't think they would be hyping it up as they are right now. So I think this was the best outcome for Old Republic fans.
I was gonna say, and I always thought, and I think the initial rumor was before the remake was announced, was that the idea of this was to recanonize the games without changing anything, and then, basically have the freedom to do whatever else after.
And
because I think when the KOTOR 1 remake popped up, I think it was Jordan Mason that initially reported on it like months before it was announced. He also said that the idea was to do KOTOR 2 as well as like a one big thing, and that was their way to like make it canon without changing anything. Because I mean, as of right now, you don't necessarily have to change anything.
And with the High Republic too, like obviously I know a bunch of people aren't book readers, but like it is constantly referencing the Old Republic. Every book from like Claudia Gray and Charles Soule and Kevin Scott do constantly reference the Old Republic. So it's like I honestly think it's almost drag and drop. You just have to change the Force lore and Kyber Crystal lore, and that's it. Like that's the main two things.
I think that for me, when I think of like Old Republic stuff, it was never, and I know people will disagree with me on this, it was never about like, oh, it's so far behind, like you should see different technology and you should see like, never about that.
We are seeing that in the trailer though, that they are kind of making it more frontier based, like how it was described in Phase 2 of the High Republic, which I actually kind of fuck with.
Yeah. The thing that I loved the most about KOTOR as a concept was this won't mess with anything. Is because it's thousands of years in the past. You can't really screw anything up. And I think that's the thing that was so appealing. And I think that's what they have a really good opportunity of is, okay, you have a story that takes place thousands of years before Phantom Menace, essentially. And you can do whatever you want, almost whatever you want. They got a little out of control in the Old Republic.
100%.
Well, like, not to be mean to SWTOR, but I think they're primarily just going to pull from KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. And then ideas from probably the Bane trilogy and that kind of stuff. And Deceived.
Because it's Casey, and because Casey's such a fan of the fans, and when they talk to, I think it's Chris Avallone, who worked on KOTOR 1 and 2, he's not working on the game, but he's like, I've talked to Casey about it, and he's like, I think everyone's going to be really pleasantly surprised about this game. I think I
might have seen maybe either Twitter or Blue Sky. He had mentioned something about it.
It was one of those.
Like he mentioned also like what Casey's vision with KOTOR 2 would have been like had he had worked on it.
Yeah, and I love KOTOR. I love KOTOR 2 to death, but like that is, people complain about unfinished games today. KOTOR 2 is legitimately an unfinished game that was brought out to release without an ending. Literally, there's no ending to that game. And I love the decisions they made in KOTOR 2. I think the story of Kreia and Scion and Nihilus is really interesting. I think the Exile is very interesting, but there's clearly gaps there that happen. And yeah, like I think the best and healthiest way for people to look at this is KOTOR 3. It's got a new name, but this is KOTOR 3. And they can pull whatever they want, and Casey will pull whatever he wants. And he will, I guarantee you, if this is a canon experience that you go through, there will be some NPC that will give you an essential retelling of the events of KOTOR 1 and 2.
100%.
He will look like Pablo Hidalgo, and he'll tell you everything.
Well, like that, I think that's the other.
Pablo Hidalgo and Leland Chi together in a cantina, like, oh, let me tell you the tale of Mitra Surik.
Let me tell you about the Mandalorian Jedi Wars.
I think
this will be the sly way to canonize the first two games.
I still think the thing I'm most excited for is the fact that if it is canon, the Lucasfilm Story Group is going to be involved, and I think that like packaged together with the original director, I think that's the fucking perfect combination. Because I agree, I think the technology was always kind of my biggest gripe. Even when playing like the opening levels, it's like, how the fuck are like hyperspeed technology is the same as the prequels? How is like holographic technology is the same as the I know they said like they modeled it off of Old Republic technology, but it's like I've always found that to be weird. I think like I really like the idea of like what we saw in the trailer. Like I think them kind of expanding from the core worlds to the mid rim, and like we're following the idea of like of explorers in the galaxy, and then we kind of get engulfed into this mystery. Like I think that's a really fun concept for a game. Yeah.
I have a lot of faith, and then Casey did tweet out, or blue skied out, whatever you want to call it. That. And this was something that I think it was unfair, and I wish people were not as terrible as someone threw out an unofficial leak that the game was coming in 2030.
I think that was a joke, to be honest. I don't think
that was all
real.
speculation from Jason Schreier, who is very reliable. He was just going under the assumption because the studio was new and based off of how modern AAA development. It's like, which I understand, but again, not official.
Yeah, and Casey said absolutely not.
Yeah,
like you will not be waiting that long to play this game. And I have no doubt that's the case. I mean, I think the other thing to understand is like video games usually don't get announced when they have the idea.
Well, you look at Eclipse.
I think Eclipse is the exception to the rule rather than the actual rule itself.
I would argue for Eclipse, and not that I think that game is coming out anytime soon.
I don't think the game's ever coming out.
Probably never.
Never.
I have a feeling that models were rendered, animation had been started, level design had started, stuff like the very core concepts of game development have started. And Quantic Dream is just such a messy studio. I would not be surprised if those screens are no longer focused on Star Wars Eclipse at their office and they're working on something totally different. I would not be surprised if they don't have scripting, voice acting, and motion capture done on the game at this point for like the main story, and probably looking at a 2027, 2028 release for that game is my best guess.
Are we on Eclipse or
Oh, Photor. I'm sorry. Photor.
Photor for sure.
I don't know if they're that deep. The studio opened up in June.
I say 2028,
I think their
2029.
trademark opened up in June.
Oh yeah,
I know,
well,
I also know that Casey was on a previous studio, like within like the last year or two. So I mean, I don't know the actual timeline, but I think
this has been a thing. Hot take. I think this has been a thing since like 2023. I think this has been a kind of under the radar, something they've been cooking up for a while. I think I think the studio formed this year, but I think the concept of Photor is not new. I think this has been a thing for a while.
I would maybe scoot that up a little bit.
I don't think this is because there's been hints that this was kind of coming for a while. I mean, look at the KOTOR remake. They're kind of prepping us for that. Look at the Old Republic era announcement in London. They were kind of getting us ready for a new Old Republic story in gaming.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting what we got. I don't think anyone was expecting this, like a continuation of that timeline in a video game. I think both this and Galactic Racer took everyone by surprise. I don't think there was anyone sitting there that was like, I knew this was coming.
Well, like Ryan, I
agree with that.
I agree with that. Like Ryan did talk about the leak because there was, but it didn't say Photor. It just said the game ends with Old Republic, and we were all like, oh, it's the remake. Duh, like that's fucking obvious. Like that's clearly what the leak is. And then
literally the day of, he said it's not Knights of the Old Republic. The leaker said. So we were like, what
the fuck is it then?
The deck card building game of the Old Republic.
No, that's
you
what
joke, but literally a couple of days prior, Star Wars announced a virtual card.
That's what people thought it was going to be before the Game Awards.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for the game. I am.
Good, as you should. Don't let anybody ruin your fun.
They're not going to ruin my fun. I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it.
I mean, people are going to yuck my yum, though.
This is one of those things of like, even with KOTOR remake, like if you look at the timeline of the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh my God, what was it? 2012 when the game come out in like what 2020?
Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts guy. 2013 announcement, 2019 release.
Final Fantasy VII remake was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 release.
I know, as I said 2012.
That's 2006.
What the fuck?
Hey, Elder Scrolls 6 was announced back in 2018.
And we haven't heard shit about it since.
We got a Starfield announcement and release since then.
Hey, I like Starfield. I like that game.
I mean, I played it. It was
Speaking of which, Chase, I know you probably haven't. But you watching Fallout?
I watched like the first 3 episodes of the first season and I liked it, but I just didn't go back to it. I have a hard time watching shows.
Fair. I just said that because season 2 just came out.
Yeah, besides Rings of Power, which you consistently watched.
Yeah, I'll watch Rings of Power season 3. I think not to maybe this is the good segue for me to dip out and talk about the Mandalorian. I will never, ever in my life agree with someone who says that TV shows need to be longer. Like, I was like, fucking, what life do you live? That sounds
Are you not looking
awesome.
forward to the 2.5 hour series finale of Stranger Things on New Year's?
I haven't finished. I haven't even started season 3 of that show.
I haven't even.
Yeah, better than him. Better than him in the corner.
I haven't even started the show. I've never seen.
That's
Stranger
wild.
Things.
I agree. I told him that.
Not even the first season.
Season 1
is
the
the
big cultural movement.
Season 1 is the only season
very good.
I think season 1 is the only season you need to watch. Anything after that, you can just kind of opt
that's
into.
so disrespectful to everyone that worked on Stranger Things.
Okay, I like season 4. I like season 5. I just think season 1 is the best season.
Wow, what a!
It's a very self-contained show.
douchebag.
Okay,
Might not like season 2.
Season 1 is a very self-contained season.
Sure, I would agree with that. I think the more to the point of when people when we talk about shows, when we talk about Star Wars shows, like, oh, only 8 episodes, and I'm like, thank God, only 8 episodes. Like,
Yeah, 8 episodes in 30 minutes.
Well, also
30 minutes long.
Ryan and I have talked about this at length.
Beautiful.
At length, it's like
if we're gonna have to wait a
it's
couple
like,
years,
okay,
and it's only 8 episodes. Let's at least be 45 minutes.
like
without
Chase and I've
credits.
talked about this as well. It's like, what the fuck do y'all expect? They're basically 8 individual movies released weekly.
I'm gonna say this.
Production wise,
If you
not
go
talking
back-
about length
if you
wise,
go-
not talking about release. I'm talking about production wise, budget and that.
Production wise is kind of pushing it too. I feel like.
I mean, they're shot
least
like movies. There's
budget-wise.
no
Here's the thing.
showrunners. There's no
Here's
that.
the thing. When you go back to the days when, and I'm not saying that this is like the gold standard, but like I think this is such a good reference. Is Next Generation seasons were 24 to 36 episodes long at 45 minutes each, and cardboard sets, and very very early but cheap even for the time
CGI.
computer animation.
Yeah.
Like from Andor to Acolyte to Rings of Power to Fallout, these are movies. These are straight up movies now. Like
I'll 100% agree on that. It's because they treat it from pre-production to when it releases. It's all let him get his headset back on.
you were saying,
And then he breaks.
No, but I mean it is completely different, and I still see people online post when something is like 8 episodes, or when we have to wait 2 or 3 years for a season. People are like, "Man, remember when TV shows were like 24 episodes and yearly? That still happens." But the productions and the way those are made are completely different.
yeah, it's called
However-
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Okay, well, I mean, stuff like Grey's Anatomy and all that, and then like all
Your
those
typical
crime
boring cop shows, firefighter
Yeah,
shows.
but I will say
hospital
the Mandalorian
dramas.
proved for a short time, even if you include the Book of Boba Fett, you can do weekly release or yearly releases. Because I mean, it was a year between Mando season 1 and 2, 13 or 14 months between season 2 and Book of Boba Fett, and then another 13 or 14 episodes between Boba and season 3, and then
Yeah.
obviously COVID strikes, plans change, but it feels like what was possible even with this higher end of making shows has kind of just been forgotten.
And now we're kind of in the state of flux with Mando because it's like,
'Cause, I mean, it is going to be
is
at
season-
least 3 years between Ahsoka season 1 and 2. Again, we had the strike, so that may have kind of interrupted things a bit. But now, I don't know if y'all saw this, but allegedly Disney did not include Ahsoka in their 2026
saw that.
media preview kit.
I
So
don't
it
know.
could so I don't know about that because what people said who got it, some people said that everything they included had official like release dates and whatnot,
I think that's unreliable.
and they never said anything for Ahsoka, which I always assumed Ahsoka was 2026, but
I always, whenever I hear stuff like that, I always go off of that because it could be like Q1 or because like Ahsoka season 2.
Q4,
Yeah,
well, it had
three.
everything. It had everything 2026. Like it had Doomsday on it,
interesting.
and that's December. So I don't know exactly what's up. If they were just waiting, if they're not 100% sure. Technically, there is actually a lot of stuff coming out 2026 wise in Star Wars, and aside from Starfighter and a 50th anniversary re-release of A New Hope, we don't know what 2027 is.
Right.
So I don't know.
Because it could have easily been
Yeah.
like September or October 2026 to like
Mhm.
spring 2027. That could easily be an easy delay, like 4 to 5 months. Which I know in the Arrow stream, people are going to be like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But it's like, guys, does 4 months really fucking move the needle? No, it fucking
Well, in this
doesn't.
day and age when people are complaining about the amount of time they have to wait between seasons, I mean, you hear it a lot. But again, their movie quality is like.
But
in
also,
fact,
like,
you're getting more than a movie.
I know
Andor
biased
is
here.
a perfect example.
like non-Star Wars wise, 2026 is going to be a fucking insane year for television. I wouldn't want to fucking throw a TV show in 2026 now with what's coming out.
No.
There's too many fucking
You
good
got
shows.
Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. You've got House of the Dragon. Most likely, you're gonna get season 3 of Rings of Power as well.
Rings of Power. You got also the
Ahsoka.
Boys season 5, which is the final season of the Boys. You got
Boys.
Daredevil Born Again season 2. You got fucking Invincible season 4. Like there's so many fucking good television coming out next year that you
Yeah.
wouldn't
it's too
want.
much. Like this is my, and like no, you're not obligated to watch everything, but like this is where I feel like we've talked about it when we talk about video games of like, or maybe we didn't talk about it, but like, you know, people talk about video games today and you look at something like, you know, FOTOR, right? Like I think people are going to expect an 80 let's say a 60 to 80 hour experience out of a game like that, right? And I remember if you go back to the Xbox 360 and people were complaining that they paid $60 for 8 to 12 hours of content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're paying $10 more, you're paying $70, and people are complaining when it doesn't have 80 hours of content. So people are wanting 10 times the content for $10 more.
Which I've always thought is fucking dumb.
I think it translates over into television is people want these extra long, extra laborious television shows at the same production quality that they've been getting, and they don't want to wait for them. And I'm not trying to defend corporations. They also don't want to pay more for their streaming services. Like, this is, to me, when people complain about stuff like that, it sounds so unbelievably entitled. Like when you look at, just say season 1 of Stranger Things, like that's a trilogy of movies right there, like straight up. And you got it all at once, if I remember correctly. Like that was not a serialized show. That was a bingeable show. And like you waited, what was it, 2 years, 3 years maybe for season 2?
No,
about a year and a half. It was October 2017.
People forget. People overreact to Stranger Things releases. They were pretty on it up until COVID. COVID and the writer's strike fucked it all up. That's why it took 10 years.
Sure. But like when I think about Andor and you literally that way that show was season 2 at least, it was set up as a trilogy. And it literally was a trilogy of films, each with a like 2.5 hour, maybe 3 hour runtime.
Actually, it was 4 movies worth.
4 movies. Okay, a quadrilogy of 2.5 hour movies that they made in 3 years.
Yeah.
And people complained that it, there was, not that everyone, but people complained that it took too long, or that I don't like the way that it was. It's like,
have y'all seen the budget for season 4 and season 5? Like, that's fucking nuts.
The prequels lasted 6 years for the same amount of content, for less content. Like the original trilogy took longer for less content. Like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? Is maybe hits that when you think about the extended editions. But still, that was a 6 to 7 year endeavor of release schedule.
Well, they started in 99, but
when it was released,
they started in 97. They started in 97 and then filmed and released in 99.
Was that?
No, they filmed it in 98. 98.
Well, no, because the reason why I said that is because
Fellowship of the Ring was 2001.
I'm talking about Phantom Menace. I'm talking about Phantom Menace.
Oh, I thought. Oh yeah, Phantom Menace was 99. Came out.
So Lord of the Rings was filming in 99.
Yeah,
2001.
And then they released in 2001, and then they released in 2002 and 2003. It was 3 straight years of movies. Because they were able to do that, because they started filming in 99. They did one movie. They did exactly and they went straight into the next production, which is unheard of nowadays.
Yeah. No, I was talking
about Avatar.
Okay. I'm remembering it wrong. Yeah, because 2003 was Return of the King.
Yeah.
But this is. I mean, it doesn't change if it's just like that's for, and keep in mind, let's not forget. I'm not trying to make excuses for Lord of the Rings. The extended editions came out later.
That is 6 movies worth of stuff if you include the extended editions.
Well, and okay,
it's 3 long ass movies.
Here's
but
the
4.5 hours. You cut that into 2 movies.
That's why those movies are so loved and like critically acclaimed, because they were given the time to tell the story and to also like get all the CGI correct, get all of the practical effects, the reshoots. Like that endeavor, like Peter Jackson literally said, I am never doing this again, and then decided to do it again with The Hobbit.
That didn't go so well.
I know. It's not the greatest trilogy. I literally was watching them.
I think they're average movies. I think they just get fucking over-talked.
They're fine. But this is the thing, and I'll let you guys get into the Mandalorian, is it's just like when people talk about, I want longer episodes, I want more episodes, I want shorter release cycles, I'm just like, number one,
Do
like you said,
actually
like
want 'em?
Its
yeah,
quality's
like
gonna suffer.
what you were talking about, like the next year, like 2026's release schedule across the studios. I'm lucky if I watch a show. I haven't finished Alien Earth yet. Okay,
I haven't
all right.
watched it.
I haven't even
It's
started
good.
it yet.
From what I'm almost done with it. It's good. I like it.
And I will say,
Um,
I gave Mandalorian shit earlier, but if you count Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Mando, and Grogu, like if you count everything in like the Mando era, because Filoni and Favreau and all those people are constantly working on next show, regardless if it's Mandalorian or not. I mean, you're getting you are getting at least one show or one big story a year at that point. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I know not a
go
lot of
back
people
to
treat it as such, but
I go back to like 1999 with the Phantom Menace. If it's just like you went 14 years without
stories.
anything, books, comics, and video games. That was it. No movies, no shows, no nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
you went.
we're going 7
I
years
know-
without a movie.
I
And
know.
look how people were.
No, but
freaking
I'll
out.
say like, look at. I know this is a good way to say about the anniversaries. Like, look at the era of Star Wars from 2015 to 2019. We got a movie every fucking year. Y'all were insanely spoiled as a fan base.
People got tired of it.
yeah. Like,
I think with movies, I think you can spread them out a little more. I think you should. I think people do get movie fatigue. If you look at the MCU, I think that's the biggest thing of like movie fatigue is very
I don't think
prevalent.
the shows have helped.
the shows
the
have made it
whole-
worse.
Yeah.
There's the thing. I think that the MCU and One Piece have the same issue right now, is that anyone who wants to get into it now does not want to get into it because it's too expansive.
Which I think Marvel is starting to become aware of that. Hence, what they're doing with Secret Wars,
Which-
and they're sending it back, and they're resetting everything back to square
Yeah.
one.
You know, I don't 100% disagree, but it's funny when people say that. But at the same time, you know, in the weeks leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, I have no doubt a majority of those people spent their evenings catching up and binging 22
have a
plus
feeling-
movies.
Sure.
I have a
I
feeling
don't- I
even
don't
with
doubt that at
with
all.
even with all like the Doomsday hate right now and fucking Brand New Day, I have a feeling it's gonna be the same shit again.
Like, I get it. You don't want to watch every show because not every show is going to link to something, and that's not a bad thing if it doesn't link to something.
Yes,
If it's a
100%.
standalone, that you should probably want that because that's great.
I think it's gotten
But I'm
better
like-
with the current phases.
Most of these shows may be 8 episodes, but I mean, going to runtime, they're what, 3.5, maybe 4 hours. They're a movie and a half's worth. And I don't want to sound like a dick when I say your time's not that valuable, especially in the evenings for most of these people who are complaining, because you're spending your time complaining on message boards and forums instead of just watching it.
I think that's fair.
110%. 110%. What you just said is perfect. And that's about 95%
Quit
of
calling
the
it.
Star
If
Wars
you, also,
fandom.
if you call it homework, then you were never interested in the to begin
Well,
with. I hate it when people
also,
call it homework.
100%.
I also think in the hot take, okay, I'm not trying to turn this into a Marvel discussion, but I'm gonna fucking turn it into a little bit of it. Marvel has always been this fucking inconsistent in quality. People want to just fucking turn their blinds eye and have fucking nostalgia glasses on for the first fucking 3 phases of the MCU.
Well, I was gonna say they always specifically point at Phase 3, where almost every movie in Phase 3 was at $1 billion. And
No, but, like,
95% on
let's-
Rotten
like,
Tomatoes.
even-
It's like that was their.
No, but if you look at every movie, even in Phase 3, you saw like stuff like Ant-Man and the Wasp. You have stuff
Mhm.
like it wasn't fucking every movie they didn't knock it out of the park. People just like to pretend like Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War was every
All
movie.
happened at the same time. Yeah.
And none of those movies are as good as Blade.
No,
The
but
one that
like
didn't get made, right?
No, the Blade trilogy. Is
No, he's
still
talking
the
about
peak
fucking
of
the Wesley
Marvel
Snipes
movie
movies.
making.
No, I understand that. There's only going to be one Blade.
there is only
I
one
love
Blade.
Blade.
That's one of the best
I
jokes in
love
Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Ryan, did I tell you about me watching Deadpool and Wolverine?
No.
I was out of town and I had nothing to do and I was scrolling TikTok and someone was TikTok living Deadpool and Wolverine
That's how you watched it?
with the bass boosted.
Oh god. Was it like in the movie theater, like when it was still playing in theaters?
Yes, it was a capture. It was a recorded capture that got boosted, and I watched it in its entirety, and I was like, there was a lot of people, even in like our circles, that were like really dogging on that movie, and like there are reasons to dog on that movie for sure, but like there were definitely people that were like, there was no substance to this movie, the themes weren't very deep, and I was like, buddy,
I don't know. Wolverine's story is pretty fucking deep and dark.
I mean, the movie was about the castaways of the Fox universe and how no one really gave a fuck about those movies, and how, I mean, that's the allegory with The Void. No one gave a fuck about this universe.
There were people expecting Citizen Kane out of a Deadpool movie, like legit, and I'm just like
I know what I'm getting with the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie at this point.
Sometimes, like, I am not saying that you need to go out and eat, McDonald's every day, but sometimes it's nice to have that. Sometimes it's nice to have that, and sometimes it's nice to have ice cream. Like,
I was
not
gonna say,
everything.
circling back to Star Wars and the Mandalorian, it's like, we just got Andor and the Blast Point.
Oh yeah, same thing, same exact thing. Yeah,
Blast Point said, yeah, we just got this like insane 5-course fancy, meal with Andor, but with the Mandalorian and Grogu coming, it's like sometimes you just want a greasy burger.
Yeah,
and it's fine acknowledging that that you're going to get in, you want it.
Right, but like I have a
totally
feeling,
okay.
But I still think that I agree with that take, and that's what I'm thinking of Mandalorian and Grogu. I still think Andor is gonna fucking bleed into the discourse of Mando and Grogu because expectations are gonna be way the fuck up here when the movie's like right here, and that's not a bad thing.
Any goofy moment that doesn't resonate with certain people, they're just going to say, "Oh, we're being fed slop. I want Andor back." Like that's going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to say, "I hate this. I want to kill that green puppet," because that's what they're saying on social media.
Fucking Star Wars social media is the worst.
Yeah,
Star Wars fans are the worst.
Over dramatic.
Yes, over dramatic is a really good way of describing Star Wars fans, unfortunately.
Well, I also I've said this before at length. My number one pet peeve when it comes to any TV show or movie discussion is when people's expectations are way too fucking high, or when something's not what they expect, they get fucking mad instead of just judging the project for what the fuck it is.
I'm not gonna name names, but like someone posted something on the internet and basically said to the effect, I'm not going to make it super descriptive so I don't call anyone out. Why should I be excited about X?
You don't have to be. Nobody said you had to.
No one's forcing you to watch anything.
We're talking about like, this is a Star Wars content creator. Like, it's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. Star Wars is everything. Star Wars has changed my life. What do you mean? Why should you be excited? It's Star Wars. Like, this is what we're here for. Mm-hmm. Like, we're here for more Star Wars.
I mean, look at my fucking background. I have Star Wars books. I'm not fucking excited for every little thing that comes out in Star Wars. I'm still gonna bitch about it. If there's something
that's not coming out, that's not your cup of tea. That's not a bad thing. We have 50 years of stuff that,
100%.
So much stuff that people have not even talked about, touched, or don't even know exists.
Yes, but like that mentality of like, why should I be excited about this? It's like, why are you here? Is like my question that I've seen, because it's not the first time I've seen stuff like that, especially in like this wake of post Andor 2 Mando and Grogu. It's like, why should I be excited this? Why should I care about Starfighter? Why should I care about Maul Shadow Lord? And I'm just like,
I mean, why were you excited about The Force Awakens? Why were you excited about?
Yeah. Why were you excited about fucking Andor? I guarantee you weren't when the show was when it got announced in 2019.
I was not like. I think myself and like so many people are, I was interested in Andor, but I was like, I mean, the show about the male like lead of Rogue One, that's a very interesting character to base an entire show off of. See how it goes. I hope it's good. Or like Skeleton Crew, like, Star Wars Stranger Things or The Goonies. I hope it's good. I don't know if that's exactly what I want, but those two shows like knocked my socks off completely. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, not going in with that mentality, I think is so like self-defeating of like, maybe this isn't what I come to Star Wars for, but let me see what it does.
Something with Mando related, like funny enough, I'm not using Andor as the pinnacle. Skeleton Crew. No one knew what the fuck Skeleton Crew was going to be like quality wise or what it was going to be. Like, oh, The Goonies, but Star Wars. Okay, whatever the fuck the show is, we'll just talk about it. And then everyone was like, holy shit, that's one of the fucking better Mandoverse era
It's
shows.
definitely up there as far as like the Star Wars shows that have come out. Like it was very, very good.
So like I don't
really.
So I don't get the whole like I'm not excited for X project, so why the fuck should I care type mindset in the current media landscape. There's so many movies that like I'm not excited for, or I don't really care about, and I fucking go watch, or a TV show I don't really care about, and I watch it, and I'm like, this is fucking good.
It's kind of like with the stuff with Doomsday. You know, we had the Steve Rogers teaser, and then like there was like one insider who said one sentence that said this is meant to imply that Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, is the lead of this movie. We know nothing else about it.
Kaboom!
Well, right. It's like we don't know what that means. We don't know what that means to the other characters, what the story is, and then people immediately are assuming X, Y, Z about it. I'm like, can we just wait for the movie to actually come out?
That's
or wait for these words to come out of like the director's
what I'm not
mouths
fucking excited for Doomsday. I can't take another year of this bullshit because this is what it's gonna be for another year of people just jumping the gun.
Like it is going back to the Mandalorian and Grogu. People keep asking based off like the teaser and everything they're getting, what's the plot of this?
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch the fucking movie and find out.
Fucking movie.
No, like look at like remember the trailers for The Force Awakens? They didn't reveal jack shit. Remember the trailers for Last Jedi? They didn't reveal jack shit. I think Rise revealed the most, but it was barely anything.
So I'm not a Marvel person, but I am very much hoping that the people who like have been hating on Doomsday, I want that movie to be exceptionally good. I really want Doomsday to be like the new everyone's favorite MCU movie of like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom was a really good idea. Like it's like when I saw that, like, again, I'm not a Marvel person and I don't have stake in the franchise, but people are like, oh, they brought back Robert Downey Jr. to be Doctor Doom, and I was like, how are they bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to be Doctor Doom? What are they doing with that?
Why would you do that specifically?
Yeah, not like for me, it's always the questions, and it's never like antagonistic questions like, oh, why are you doing that? It's just like, I wonder why they're doing that.
I can tell you why they're doing that. I can tell you why they're doing that.
There's probably a couple reasons.
It's desperation, but I'm also curious for the story reasons.
Well,
why.
they killed off Tony. I think they losing Tony and Steve Rogers kind of was just like, oh, and then people lost interest. I think
that's part of it, but also it's just like you can do something like that, and I think that like.
But what's the story reasons
Endgame.
For why? That's the more interesting question.
And I enjoyed Endgame. Like, you know, it's like, look, as someone who's not a Marvel person, when all those Doctor Strange gates opened and all of the superheroes come through, you're like, well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
you can't not have that moment. And I think that the choices they made, you know, in that movie, like, hey, I think they worked out well. And it's like, okay, but in the long run, maybe that does affect our storytelling. These are fan favorite characters. Let's bring them back. You didn't need to bring back Luke, Han, and Leia in the sequel trilogy. You didn't.
No,
you didn't need to, and they did. And I like the way they brought those characters back. I know other people don't, but like, it all comes down to what do you do with that character? Like, for some people, Last Jedi Luke is their favorite version of Luke. And I really hope that Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom is like becomes like, this is Doctor Doom. Like, this is going to be Doctor Doom forever. We love this, and we want more of this. I hope that happens.
My hope is like, I disagree a little bit. Like, I want to see traditional Doom. Like, I hate the MCU constantly being the norm for characters. But I hope it's like a thing where it's like, okay, that was a respectful adaptation of the character type of thing. Not a like, this should replace, because I've always hate the MCU replacement of like, this was so good, this needs to replace the comic iteration of the character. Because I think both can stand on their own separately. They don't need to fucking go against each other.
What I do fear, and this goes with Doomsday, this goes with Mando, this goes for anything that has a lot of discourse to it, is that I fear that regardless if it's good, so many people have committed to this idea that it is going to be bad, and because they spent so much time and effort on it, they are going to stick with that regardless of the quality of what we get.
Like, I'll be 100% honest. Like, I'll be 100% transparent. I have my issues, and I am critical of some decisions they are making in Doomsday. However, if I'm proven wrong, I'll fucking throw those out the window and say I was fucking wrong about the movie. Like, I am not scared to do that.
I think it's going to be interesting. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
I'm here for it.
But like, I'm
here for it.
I'm a transparent
but-
creator. I don't fucking give a fuck.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Have all of these leaks been real, or have they all been AI?
They're real.
The teaser is real.
The teaser's
the Chris
100%
Evans-
real.
The Steve Rogers one, I think the Thor one technically leaked, or like the dialogue.
The brand new
leaked.
day trailer, it's like 144p quality. That's fucking real.
I have, yeah. I mean, all those have been claimed like on like copyright stricken.
That's your
social
telltale
media,
sign
but
that
I
they're
know,
real.
I
is
know
when-
from somebody personally that the Spider-Man one was actually real.
That's always your telltale sign in the day of AI. If studios are going around ripping trailers down and trying to hide shit, that's your telltale sign that something's real.
Interesting.
Before I go, can we talk about the Disney cease and desists going around?
The what in the,
The
huh?
AI.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, the
they are
open
cracking
AI?
down on AI
I
stuff.
was gonna say they did cease and desist to AI. YouTube banned a bunch of those AI movie trailer channels, like literally.
Which
within, like, the last
also,
24 hours.
I will say, in the age of AI, the
I think
AI.
it's fucking hilarious
No,
that they're being
no,
so
I will say this.
hypocritical of like
I will say
taking
this.
AI from other people, but they decide to do it on their own.
I will
platform.
say, the thing that makes me sad about the era of AI is the art of the fake trailer is fucking dead. I love the era from like the early 2000s to the
I
mid
was-
2010s when the fake trailer where someone had to fucking work for it and make it convincing.
I
miss those
listening
days.
To, I don't know if you know Bernie Burns and Ashley Jenkins. They were from Rooster Teeth, but they have their own like morning podcast, like daily morning podcast. And literally, like either today or yesterday, Bernie was talking about like that art form of like going through the effort of actually like stitching together actual scenes, or like going in and like rotoscoping shit out and putting it in.
It was an art form.
That art is gone.
It's just fucking AI slop now.
Yeah, I think it's very hypocritical of Disney to be like,
No, I
"Oh,
don't
yeah, you
disagree.
can't- We don't want you.
I was
we
gonna say
don't want
literally like a
you."
week ago they announced the whole.
They literally
like,
announced that they're going to put AI in Disney Plus.
Which is the
the
dumbest
fuck
fucking
outta
thing
here.
ever.
Don't cease and desist me, bitch. Like, no.
Here's the thing: is they're a corporation. They're a giant corporation. They always have been. When your favorite movies like Lion King and Little Mermaid and Toy Story were coming out, they were still a giant fucking corporation.
100%.
Let's not play that game. But at the same time, they're only going to do this until it stops being successful. And I think that the general public still is not on board with AI.
Oh, it's a money pit. It's all these corporations just handing off like
Well,
millions and billions of dollars to each other. That's why it's like technically the economy is so well, but it's the same set of like millions of dollars just changing hands back and
well, I also
Yeah,
think it's
once-
like you're ripping off the backs of writers, artists, VFX, because they're gonna just steal shit from other fucking media. That's what they're gonna do.
I think this will still come down to they're going to put some AI generated Moana short, on Disney Plus, and it's not going to perform well.
I think
I
there'll be
think they're
AI
looking at-
aura farming Marvel and Star Wars shit.
if there is a demographic that I can easily identify Uncanny Valley, it's kids more so than adults, and they are going to immediately notice that something is off and they're not going to want to watch it ever again.
Well, like,
Yeah.
well, okay. Sorry, not to make this into that kind of discussion, but like, Chase, did you fucking like? Do you remember like the discourse a couple weeks ago about fucking AI generated Star Wars videos by fucking dickhead? I'm just gonna say that for fucking context.
He who must not be named.
He who must not be named. It's that kind of
Yeah,
shit that I'm expecting.
I didn't watch the video.
I watched it
and/or
on TikTok.
videos
I
at
watched someone
this
talking
point.
about it on TikTok. I watched like some green screen recording of it.
This is when here's my thing, and this is not to defend corporations. This is just the reality of the situation. Someone who has a platform like that and is monetizing their content that they're making will always be subject to any type of copyright claim by the IP holders. You can agree or disagree with that. That's fine. That is a totally different discussion.
100%.
I think it's up to these companies to be smart about that. Like, it took Nintendo a really long time to realize that people playing their video games online and showing the video games was more financially beneficial to them than people not doing it, which is why they backpedaled on a lot of their copyright.
Oh my god, do you
strikes for
remember the
people
Nintendo Creator
streaming.
Program? That was so fucking dumb.
Yeah. But they're not the only one. If you remember the early days of Vivo and the copyright strikes for artists that would upload their own music and get copyright strikes. I'm not saying that this is a good system or a perfect system or anything like that, but these companies do have to protect their IP. Someone like Star Wars Voldemort, right?
I mean, I made the joke first.
Let's be real. The court case that would be filed against him, if it ever happened, and I don't think it will, is you are profiting off of our IPs while simultaneously defaming and defacing our property.
It's just fucking funny.
You have to stop. They're not going to do it because it won't look good PR wise, but they
100%.
have every right to do it. If you are going to use AI and take Star Wars source material to make your own, I will not comment on quality, fan fictions and fan films, and at the same time turn around and say, here's why you should hate the people who own Star Wars. Here's why the people who worked on the Acolyte are awful human beings. Here's why all of this that we've heard time and time and time and time again. There's 100% like a defamation and slander lawsuit and copyright infringement lawsuit that could be made against that person.
Yeah, but they don't want to. They don't want to.
They're not going to.
They don't
he
want to
will kick and scream saying they're going to. They won't, because they don't want to play that game of chicken with him. Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy know who he is and do not care about him.
Yep.
They're just like,
no, but I was more
like,
talking about like him like watching AI slop and thinking it's fucking cinema.
oh, like, I mean, that goes towards the lowest common denominator. Like the people,
a lot of people think it's, you know.
Oh, my
better
favorite was
than
when
what
I
they're
was in a
actually
comment section talking about it, and someone was like, and I'm like, AI is fucking bad, and then they use Chat GPT to argue why AI is good, and I could fucking recognize by reading the comment, I'm like, oh, M dashes AI,
giving.
motherfucker.
The syntax is easily identifiable.
AI is the death of the M dash. It's so funny. It's so
Well,
funny.
the thing you rarely saw that all of a sudden just blew up over the last year. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
we know why.
It was something you would see in like textbooks, like
textbooks or maybe actual novels.
Some novels would use it, but that was like very seasoned. Like, we're talking about people who started writing probably in the early 90s or earlier were using that, but like most modern fiction does not use it unless for very specific reasons.
I can easily tell when you start seeing emojis in emails.
Oh,
my
dude,
gosh.
there are so many telltale signs.
I've started seeing that in work emails.
Just fucking, if you look, you can be like, that's ChatGPT, almost immediately.
You can spend 20 minutes to actually type it.
You can't
you
use
have to
your
type it into ChatGPT.
You can't
One
use
of
your
our-
fucking brain.
I'm not going to name the company because this is very unprofessional, but one of our competitors has an Instagram ad that is like a screenshot of a fake email that was written by ChatGPT. And like name drops the Wu-Tang Clan because they did a collaboration with them a long time ago. Oh, it's the worst thing. Oh, it's so gross. And they're getting just pulled through the mud because of it. It's great.
Yeah.
On that note,
How about you guys talk about The Mandalorian, Chapter 11?
Peak.
Mandalorian Chapter 11. Here's the
Remember what
short
happens in that
end.
episode? You guys have fun. It was fun talking to you guys.
Yeah,
That was a
fun
fucking,
talking to
that
you,
was an
Chase.
insane cameo that I was not expecting.
It happens from time to time.
You really showed up like 2 minutes before pressing go live.
Because you guys were like 16 minutes late.
Shut up. We don't talk about that.
That was hair. Okay.
Anyway, The Mandalorian, baby.
Chapter 18. Bo-Katan.
11.
Hi.
Chapter 18. Chapter 11.
Chapter 11. Whatever.
Wrong,
you
wrong
know it.
season, jackass.
Well, you know what? Fuck you. We just talked an almost hour and a half about the thing that we.
Well, no, it was an hour.
Discussion.
It was a good discussion.
It was a very good discussion.
I was hoping we would have
good
actually
discussion.
talked more about Galactic Racer because he was very excited about it. I was very interested.
We were having a good discussion. I'm
we got
sorry for the
distracted
people
on
that clicked
the
into
Discord.
this video and destroyed our engagement because they wanted Mandalorian. You can, I don't know. You're here now.
Mandalorian. I watched it. Watched the episode. It's Bo-Katan basically doing Bo-Katan things. Din kind of being like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Why are you taking your helmet off? Like, you aren't real Mandalorians." And then being like, "Yo, you're part of a cult." And him being like, "Nah, I'm not a cult."
Which
And
honestly,
then-
at the time, because remember, we were like in 2018. I even talked about this in the rewatch. People were speculating of like, why the fuck is Din not taking off his helmet? Because like we were so used to Clone Wars era and Rebels era Mandalorians. We were like, I remember we were just coming up with justifications in season 1, being like, why the fuck is it like this? And then when I remember when watching it the first time in season or 2020 when Bo-Katan said that, I was like, that is fucking genius. That is actually fucking genius of a justification for why. And it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, the one thing I never thought I would be talking about, but we have to kind of talk about it because it was a discourse at the time, and I never thought I would say these words in my life. Welcome to the dumbest Star Wars discourse I've ever seen in my life in 2020. Let's talk
Wait,
about.
hold on. Wait, can I
Can you
make a
guess?
guess?
Yes.
Is it the sweater?
No. I wish.
I was thinking of the sweater, the Mon
Welcome
Calamari.
to
I think that was. I think
Star
that was a big thing that
Wars
people liked.
Boobgate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is
yeah,
it with the
armor.
plate?
The
Like
plating
the
of the
chest plate?
armor. What people were fucking. That's not historically accurate.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't care.
No,
I
it's
don't
just
wanna
I know
talk
it was the funniest fucking discourse. I was like, well, are we seriously talking about this? This is the talking
think
point
we're
on,
seriously
on
talking about
YouTube.
this with a franchise full of people that have never gotten laid in their lives.
No, it was just
It's
fucking.
very
It was just
ironic
grifters, just being
because-
grifters and just trying to fucking come up with something to talk about. It was just. I just remember like that being like, what the fuck?
Well, and like here's the thing. I don't care at all. This episode is very enjoyable. Very, 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 very enjoyable. Bryce Dallas, this was her second.
Yeah, second
Second
first episode
attempt
of season
at-
two,
I
yeah.
think
It's
this
second-
is
might
her
have been
best.
her
I
early
think this
season
is her
two.
best episode.
Oh, 100%. I think it is her best episode for sure.
We're talking just Mando because I mean her skeleton crew.
Her
episode-
skeleton crew episode was fucking phenomenal. But we're just talking
no,
Mando.
her skeleton crew slapped for sure. I feel like she needs to get more opportunities. Maybe Ahsoka season 2 might be down
It is.
that line.
She's talked
She
about it
has 2
before.
episodes.
She's talked about
Well,
it. It
that's
is.
good.
This is kind of her
That's good.
baby.
That's good. I like that. I felt like they gave a little bit more agency to Bo-Katan, which I felt was like kind of lacking since she had minimal. What just happened?
That was one of the weirdest plays I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, he's watching football. I forgot.
Yeah, what happened?
Cooper Kupp was running towards the end zone and just got stripped at the 1-yard line.
Nice. Anyway, what was I saying? Now I lost my train.
You
of
were
thought.
talking about like, sorry, Bryce Dallas Howard, and you're talking Bo-Katan.
Yeah. How Bo-Katan is given more agency in this episode, more than she ever got in Clone Wars or Rebels, and I think it's very, very interesting that we get to find out. Hey, Bo-Katan actually lost this Darksaber to Moff Gideon.
Well, I mean, we had to come up. We had to
Interesting.
come up with a reason for why at the end of season 1.
Well, but like, we got the confirmation.
I mean, if you watched Rebels, you knew, because she was the last person to fucking have
Okay.
it.
But still, it's like it's a big factor, and it's a factor that plays into her character.
She
And-
admits she fought in the purge, right? I watched the
Yes,
episode today.
yes,
I was trying
yes,
to
Which
remember.
yeah,
that.
she
okay,
said that she fought in
I
the
said it.
purge.
I know I said it during the season 1 finale, and I'll fucking still die on this hill. I still want a story set during the purge. I still think that's such a fucking. I know we got the flashbacks in Book of Boba Fett, but I want it from Bo-Katan's and Moff Gideon's point of view. Because
Yeah, seeing the Mandalorian, like seeing Mandalore,
especially after Ahsoka season 1,
Clone Wars would be
Ahsoka
cool.
season 1 even established it even more with like, oh, Sabine Wren's family was a part of that fucking purge, and they got fucking killed.
There's
Yeah.
like a very interesting like
There is a story
maybe
there.
direct to Disney Plus movie or something like that you could tell.
I I would
Or,
watch
like,
it.
they could have. Yeah, they definitely could have.
I could watch it. I would watch it. But like, it's very well directed. The action's really good. The humor's really good. I like the fact that they're like, "Oh yeah, where you at?" And he's like, "In the cargo hold." There, in the cargo hold.
In
And
the
he's like,
way.
"Yeah, just."
Well, I also love
And then she also does the, "Oh yeah, we'll be up in a bit. Make some tea." And I'm like, you know what? That's
I
hilarious.
also love the way
So
that the Imperial Remnant is like shown in this episode, because like I feel like in other
Yes.
episodes like they're not really touched upon. I feel like the way that they do it in this episode is fucking terrifying.
They're very well presented
Organized.
as well established. Like, because I mean, the ones that we see in Navarro are very much like hidden, dirty. Like they're not like, I guess,
Yeah.
professional.
They're not
Like they're
cleaned
not
up.
they're not clean. They're like you would like they're it looks like they're struggling, but then you see them here. I guess this is the first time we see them in season 2. It's
Yes.
like
100%.
yeah, they're like it's a completely different vibe.
Well, and it's also like the vibe of like it goes to show you which remnants are more active and actually believe in the cause. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because they're getting their orders straight from Gideon himself.
Yeah.
And he wasn't always on par with the Empire on Navarro
Right.
until he had to be. But obviously we see Nazi-like stuff from them by taking a electrical thing in his
Yeah, that's what I
tooth.
was supposed to say, like talking about, hinting at like that kind of
Is that
stuff.
the first time? Obviously, I know we see it later in the Bad Batch. Was that the first time we see that in Star Wars?
Yes.
or-
Yes.
Like
Yes,
eventually
I
the
believe so, yes.
I forget what it's called
100%.
in real life with the
Iodine.
pill. Oh yeah.
Yeah, iodine.
And
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
I
yeah.
also remember at the time that sorry, I just remembering the discourse around the time. I also remember people were mad that Bo-Katan appeared younger when she did in Rebels, because in Rebels they actually aged her up a lot.
Mhm.
So I remember, didn't they like retcon her age to be like, no, she actually was younger during the Clone Wars and now she's younger in Rebels?
There might be some sort of like reference book or something, or maybe interview.
Be-
but like, I mean, yeah, technically, like, I
Katie always
Sackhoff, the age doesn't line up. But I mean,
Yeah, because I
That's what
remember when I was watching Rebels, I always thought she was at least in her late 30s, early 40s in Rebels. Now I'm like,
And
wow,
she'd
old
be close to her 40s to mid 50s.
yeah, 'cause I mean, she's younger than
like 40 what? 44?
because I think the retcon age in Clone Wars, she's in her early 20s.
I'll say 46 is my final
Because she was
answer.
what, I forget they changed it, because I know in Clone Wars she was supposed to be older, but they
Ooh,
kind of went
Luke,
back
you're
and
so
changed
close.
it.
45
I?
turns 46 in
Damn it!
April.
Fuck!
What,
I was so
Katie Sackhoff, or are we
close!
talking about like Bo-Katan as a character?
Katie, Katie
No,
Sackhoff is
Katie
45.
Sackhoff is like 45.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's probably I don't know.
Washington legend Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah.
She was born in
Yeah.
Oregon. Thank you very much.
But she lives here, so technically we claim her.
Anyways, just stop pussing around. Anyway, so yeah, I like this episode, and then obviously we get the Ahsoka Tano reference.
Well, we also, I mean,
and-
we also get the fucking. I'm sorry. We get the most underrated hallway scene in all of Star Wars. And everyone likes to talk
yeah,
about Luke Skywalker.
yeah.
Everyone likes to talk about Maul. Everyone likes to talk about Vader. No, it's fucking Bo-Katan mowing motherfuckers down in the hallways. Pretty badass. It's up
top
there.
5. It's not. It's
It's
not,
up there.
It's not top
but
3.
people don't talk about it. But it's up there.
Yeah, people underrated. I will say it's underrated for sure. Absolutely underrated.
Dude, the shot of her like walking in and stabbing the guy and then like looking back at the camera, that fucking is still to this day is fucking sick.
Nothing will ever change my mind when we talk about the finale. The dynamic,
Yeah.
the dichotomy of Vader's hallway scene in Rogue One and then Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker's in the finale. I love when I scroll across a TikTok that does that, because it's like, oh my god.
No, they are
It's
they're
such
yin and yang.
a
But we'll get
Skywalker
they are yin
thing.
and yang, but we'll talk about it when we get to the finale.
Yeah. But
This was another
Overall-
episode where the Razor Crest been through some.
Oh,
shit.
when the
I know
Razor
it's
Crest
an
is getting
extended
fucking
last
just
episode,
demolished.
But like, yeah.
dude, and the fact that it's just like, all right, we know it kind of, it's funny, it's its own character, but you kind of can see like, oh,
I also
really
love
make
how
it through?
I love how the solution in this episode, we're just gonna fucking just put rope around it and just fucking tie it together and just
Rope
hope it
and
works.
tarp and all this like fisherman gear. My favorite was at the
Yeah.
beginning. He gives the Mon Calamari credits. He's like, do whatever you can with the
Yeah, and then at
with
the
this
end,
much.
he's
He's like, well, no, like the Mon Calamari says, I'll fill her up. That's all he
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then he's like, I gave you 1,000 credits. This is all you could do? The guy's like, okay, all right, whatever. And then he's just like, Grogu was also really cute in this episode as well.
I also remember
Um,
okay, sorry, I'm just jumping around speculation. I remember like in the trailer when they showed the other Mandalorian, people were like, "Oh, is that Sabine Wren?" Before the show came out.
Yeah,
I remember being one of those people too.
yeah, yep.
But it's obviously Casca
Yeah.
Reeves.
Yeah,
Now,
it's Costa
okay.
Reeves.
Also, I love how we can talk about this. Obviously, we'll obviously touch more in the finale. I love how they fucking entirely shove the male Mandalorian to the side till season 3. Like, I love the memes
Yeah.
about where the
Yeah,
fuck
like,
what
he
he
has,
was
like,
he doing
no-
during the finale. It's so
Yeah.
fucking
There's,
funny.
like no dialogue. I think he doesn't have. Did he have dialogue this episode?
He had dialogue because he was like, he's one
Yeah.
of those.
One or
He's one
two
of those.
sentences. Yeah.
I actually got to hear him, Katie, the guy who stood in for Paz Vizsla, and maybe somebody else. I can't remember. At Rebel ScumCon, they had a panel.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a really good panel.
We'll have to maybe think about going next year.
I'm
I
highly
think the panel's
considering it.
online on YouTube at this point. I think they posted all the panels.
But like, no, I think Rebel ScumCon has had like hit its place where it naturally falls between the celebrations, and I think that's what they should just go for going forward.
Oh, they were supposed to be making a guest announcement tonight. I wonder if they made it.
Like, I honestly think like if I were them, I would go to every other year and just go in the odd years of when celebration isn't, and you'll have a
What?
fucking
Who's
perfect
going?
ass market.
Some of the model builders from the original movies.
That's
are
fucking
guests.
sick.
But then they also have Denise Goff, Kyler Soller,
Yeah, yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito, Ray Park, and Paul Sun Hyung Lee are also going as well. They've
Yeah.
already announced those.
It's definitely like I said.
That's sick.
I think Rebel ScumCon is starting to find its market.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for this episode of the Pod Ones.
It was like 15 minutes of Mando and like an
Yeah, we
hour
got-
of like
yeah.
other stuff.
yeah, but it was good conversation.
No, it was a great conversation. I was just making a joke about it because
Yeah,
engagement,
yeah,
engagement jokes.
Hereth, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
Well, the good people can follow me at Hereth Productions on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Of course, you could find me and Ryan and Luke at the Gridiron Guys if you're into sports and football and all that kind of stuff. And you can watch all of us just be depressed for the rest of the season because we all are all depressed at this point and we are all dead inside, except for George.
Yeah, except for George.
George is the only one that's
Fuck
happy.
you, George.
Fuck you, George.
Fuck you, Charlie Johnson.
All right, Ryan, where can the people follow you on
And-
social media?
Ooh, taking Luke's thunder. They can find me at RyanPW_ over on Twitter and TikTok, and hopefully I will be on Gridiron Guys next week. I wasn't on this week.
You will. It's okay. We didn't replace you.
I mean, it was the worst week not to have you on because we had so many fucking Saints conversations we could have had.
Yeah,
Jokes about
we
that game.
We did. We did. You can follow me at Jedi Master Eggs, and you can follow us on the Pod Ones on all social medias. I'm making an announcement.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
see, surprise announcement, Luke. What the fuck?
For my birthday on January 5th,
Oh no.
I have the day off.
Oh no.
Oh.
So I will be doing a speed run of the original Battlefront 2 campaign.
Okay.
And if I die, I have to restart.
Oh wait, you're doing permadeath? You're doing Battlefront 2 permadeath?
Do a shot after every death.
That would be fun.
Actually,
as-
don't do that
hit-
because I don't
or-
want to
or-
be
or
No,
an
you just
edible.
no. You could do it
Or
on
an
TikTok.
edible.
You just step out of the frame and you just take the shot and you can sit back down.
Maybe. I don't know. I've got to work the next day.
No, permadeath. No,
Maybe
permadeath would be fun as fuck
wait.
though.
Do I make it a Sunday night stream?
I was
and
going to
go
suggest
until
to do it a
finish
Sunday, recover Monday.
The day
on my
before.
birthday.
And then you do permadeath is fucking genius.
Oh, wait. Before we close, you mentioned original Battlefront 2. I posted in the group chat earlier about the Kyber servers
Yes.
for Battlefront 2 going
Yeah.
public or open beta. So maybe I don't know. Do y'all play Battlefront 2 on PC or is
Oh,
it on-
100%. I've had it on PC since
I have it.
2020.
I have it on both PS5 and PC now.
So I mean, those go live Saturday. I don't know if I'll be able to play Saturday, but I work in education, so I got the next 2 weeks off. So maybe we'll find some time
Damn.
to do something.
Battlefront 2
there.
streams. Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe not on TikTok. Doing TikTok streams on PC gaming is rough.
Console
that-
gaming is so much easier. You
It's
just
a
turn your
console
capture
gaming, but
card
that
on.
I
you
was gonna
put
say
it-
TikTok Studio does not like PC gaming.
No, I'm console gaming when it comes to TikTok.
It's it's however they program that. It is not like your
Algorithm doesn't.
Plus,
well,
I'm-
no, it's the actual broadcast. It's like your stuff just does not run.
Plus,
well.
also with Live Studio,
Which is funny because I have done stuff on the PC and it's done really fucking well.
but plus also
mean, I
with
have
Live Studio, I've always been the kind of guy. I'm a one monitor setup guy, so console's always been easier for me because I could always just split my monitor in half.
Yeah, but like my frame rate will just tank when I go live on TikTok.
Oh, Live
on
Studio is a
PC game.
fucking PC. It's
I don't
hungry.
know,
It's a hungry
I-
software.
Yeah, and I don't know how they haven't figured. I don't know if that's changed. I have not tried that in like well over a year.
I'm just lucky because I have a $2,000 gaming PC and I can just handle it.
Well, I mean, I have like a 3070 and a 5900.
Oh, by the way, I
but,
know
like,
I'm not gonna make this a
yeah.
talking point because we're trying to end it, but fucking RAM prices are ridiculous right now. I'm so glad I built my computer in 2024 when I did because I have 64
Well, you
gigs
know the
of
way
RAM.
around it is if you buy a pre-built like at Walmart,
Yeah,
and you take the RAM
I'm lucky.
out.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have a 64 gigs of RAM in my computer.
I think I got 32.
64 is so fucking nice. I'm so glad I picked 64 instead of 32.
I think I don't know.
Actually-
Chase built my computer actually,
No, because
so I don't really know.
I built more RAM on my PC on purpose because it was an editing rig. Plus, also wanted to do other things like streaming, so I purposely added more RAM on purpose.
Yeah.
So I
But
overestimated.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, because
Happy
we're not
holidays.
having a Christmas stream next week.
We are not having a Christmas
You will
stream
have
next
Gridiron
week.
Guys on Tuesday, but you will not have Pod Ones on Thursday.
You will have Gridiron Guys on Tuesday. Absolutely. Before I go home.
Will we do New Year's? Because New Year's is on a Thursday as well.
Oh, New Year's
New Year's Eve's on a Thursday. Let me check.
New Year's Eve is a
Oh,
Wednesday.
Let me check my schedule.
But
Wait,
New
what?
Year's is a Thursday.
We are doing New Year's
Is
Day. We are doing New Year's Day.
That would make a bit more sense since that evening. But
Okay.
I haven't,
Let me double check, but I'm 90% sure. Christmas for sure skipping. I made that a specific skip.
so we'll go with chapter 12 on New Year's.
Wait, let me look.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just double checking this on the air. Mandalorian rewatch.
Maybe Char will show up for that.
Yes.
Probably not.
So yes, episode four is. Oh wait, we're a week off. But anyway, it's fine. We're a week off. I'll make it work. Yes, we are coming back on January 1st.
Okay.
2026, baby. So we will see you.
We'll just
Maybe we'll
combine.
get a new Mando trailer between then.
We'll also combine episodes because we're an episode behind. It's fucking fine. We'll make it work.
Fuck.
There are some
Anyway.
episodes that we can combine. and
Well,
that'll
there's
make
some episodes
sense.
we'll find later on.
Yep.
Boba Fett for sure we can combine.
All right. With that, we will see you in 2026.
This is the way.